Welcome to BCHS.TV. This is Gary Ownbey. I'm your host. We're looking at another slice of life here at Bradley Central High School, being joined today by one of our SROs, Deputy Ryan Beasley, who also has Marcus Cochran here with him on campus each and every day that students are attending. Welcome to our program today.
Thanks, sir.
Deputy there. And people who are not at Bradley, who may not have students here, they don't know about the SRO program. But throughout the county, I think every Bradley County school now has an SRO, at least one SRO there on campus, do they not?
Yes, sir, they do. High schools have 2 SROs and then a gate guard, and then every school does have at least one SRO.
And if you don't know it, folks, whenever you come to Bradley, there's only one way in, one way out during the day. You must stop at the gate where there's an officer there and check in. If you're not on campus as a student or administrator or teacher, tell them why you're on campus and they'll direct you to the right place to go. And if you try to leave, students cannot leave without having a pass in their hand that says, hey, I'm authorized to leave to go to a job or to a dual enrollment class. So there's a lot, unfortunately in today's world, so many safety precautions have to be built in there. Yes. And you guys are here to oversee all of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we are. Yeah, that's the main thing the reason why we are here is safety precautions. We want to keep all the students safe, staff and faculty. So there's a lot of students here that we want to keep safe, and a lot of people that are in and out, and that is our main concern.
Well, just last week I was here, I guess Friday, we had a lockdown drill, and it's just a practice that if something crazy should go on here or an unauthorized visitors on campus and looking to do something that we don't want to happen, students know how to react to that quickly. And obviously we have the PAs built into the school system, so everywhere on campus you know where you're directed to go to for that.
Exactly. And, nobody wants to think about having to do those drills and think about what has happened in the past to some of the other schools and the shootings and stuff like that. But it's something that is real, and we have to deal with it and deal with it the best way we can, because again, safety is our main concern.
Well, I guess you're one of these, you and Officer Cochran are thinking, we want to have a quiet day, nothing happening, nothing going on, but that's just not real life when you have 1,700, almost 2,000 people on the campus at any given time, over 1,750 students, something like that. People get their feelings hurt, things happen. What are some of the most typical things that you see involving the students here?
Well, I think one of the main things is the vaping and the jewels, dab pens and stuff like that. We have to deal with that pretty much on a daily basis. That and we've had an occasional fight or two, and so that's something that we have to deal with. And of course, the home football games always raise a little bit of concern because of the amount of people that are here, on the home and visitor side. So we have a lot to deal with, on a daily basis. And those days where we would like Friday afternoon when we'd like to just kind of sit down and catch our breath, a lot of times it doesn't happen that way.
You're like Turner Jackson. You wish there were road games, right?
Exactly.
Well, I know in your department up there in the SRO and with Officer Cochran there, it's just like any school. We have different backgrounds, different cultures, different ethnic beliefs, different whatever going on at home. And there's so many times, unfortunately, that students are involved in home situations that are not very good. A broken home or financially a home that's in a deep financial trouble, whatever. And they come and they may act out because of that, who knows. But in your line of work, I'm sure you have an opportunity to counsel students who do get in trouble, because they're going to have to come see you for one thing, but there's probably times too when kids will come to you and just ask for your help in some way or another that gives you a chance to interact personally with them, I guess, in a lot of ways.
Sure. We're not, Officer Cochran and I, we're not here just to take people to jail or to give people juvenile citations and stuff like that. We want to listen to what people have to say, and a lot of times that's the thing that that's the way that we have a relationship with those kids.
Your sounding board, so
right. And sometimes that's all they need, is just to be able to talk to somebody and somebody to listen to them. So Officer Cochran and I, we try to do our best to bring them into the office. We have an open door policy. Anybody can come in with any type of problem they have, and we'll be more than happy to listen. If one of us, if 2 officers is too many for them, then one of us will step out, and so they'll feel more comfortable. So we really try to do our very best to build relationships and and because that's what it's all about. It's not about just taking people to jail and having numbers or anything like that. It's about the relationship with the kids and with the teachers and faculty and everybody else.
Well, and I'm sure for some of those students, getting away from that home problem, it's like school's a safe haven for them to come here all day, and they're out of that. They don't have to think about it. You know, they're here with their friends and their peers and interacting with students and other students and teachers and so forth, and trying their best to make a success out of their life, and they can do that here. But you know, I'm sure you encourage them to come. If you have a problem that we can talk over with you or help you with, you know, come see us. You know, that's what you're after here.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And there's an old saying for anyone like yourself who's in a position of leadership and guidance, that you have to be firm but fair. Obviously, you can't play favorites. You can't give a kid a break when you don't give another kid a break or whatever. You've got to be firm though, because you know the old saying is, if you let them by once, they'll be by a second time, the third, and so forth. But as long as you're fair, I think everybody appreciates that too.
Right, and we try to be as fair as possible. We listen to their concerns and the situations that they're in. We take that all into account, and you know, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of times we don't take people to jail or juvenile or give them citations because we feel like whatever they have gone through might be punishment enough. So we do try to take each individual instance into consideration and try to make a good decision after that.
Well, and I'm just like anybody else. You don't really know what's going on in a student's mind, because you don't know what's happening to them at other places, that maybe at home or whatever, and it's obviously you have to give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes and all that. What's your most satisfying thing about working here? What do you enjoy the most? I know a quiet day is what you enjoy the most, obviously, but it's just an opportunity to help. I mean, you're a service guy. I mean, you're in this because you want to serve the community, obviously. That's why you're in law enforcement to start with.
Right. I think the most satisfying part of the day, or any day, is being around the kids and seeing them and high-fiving some of them when you build that relationship. I try to open the door in the mornings over at the gym for students and just let them know, hey, I'm not here just to, you know, like I said, take you to juvenile or give you a citation. I'm going to be here to help. And same thing with Officer Cochran. He's on the other side of the cafeteria, and he's interacting with students that are coming in there. So we're trying to build that relationship and some type of bond to where when they see us, they don't run the other way.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's been times in the past where you've had to deal with a situation with a student, and that student's come back to you and say, hey, you were right, you know, thanks for your help or whatever, and I'm on the straight and narrow path now and doing the right thing.
You know, I've had a student that I had to deal with, and I came down, you know, kind of hard on him and was, you know, kind of giving it to him. And he apologized and then came back with some donuts for me and said, you know what, you're right, I'm not gonna act that way anymore. So it was pretty good.
Wow, that's where you feel.
I didn't eat the donuts, but
well, that's where you feel good, and you know that you're making a difference in someone's life, and you never know what little things that you do or you may say may steer them or make them stop from doing something they shouldn't do, and keep them doing the right thing all the time. Well, Officer Beasley, we want to thank you for being here today, Deputy, and appreciate what you do for Bradley Central, keeping us safe here in all ways that you can, and with Officer Cochran and the officer that's down on the gate as well when you come in. We need you here. It didn't used to be that way, but in today's world, it's a necessity, and I know that you've been here, and boy, the kids seem to look up to you and respect you, and like having you on campus. It makes us all feel safe. So,
well, thank you very much. Officer Cochran and I both appreciate it. We appreciate the opportunity to be here and to give back as much as we can. So thank you.
Well, thank you for service. Again, this has been BCHS.TV, another slice of life at Bradley Central. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. This has been Officer Ryan Beasley with us here today. He and Officer Cochran work here at Bradley as the two of the SROs on campus that takes care of things and keeps us all safe. And having said that, we'll say so long for now. God bless and go Bears!